All right, everybody, welcome into our first edition of Keeping Up with Spring Garden Athletics. This is the boys basketball edition. I'm going to let each one of these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time, starting with Coach.
I am Coach Hatcher, and this is my third year as the head coach.
I'm Noah Barber, and I'm a senior.
I'm Connor Bates, and I'm a senior.
Coach, you guys, as expected, are off to a phenomenal start. You knew you had some guys coming back that could really play basketball. This is your second year here in the system where everybody's knows you. Everything is status quo. Take us through this start. I mean, you're sitting here at 19-0. Obviously, here at Spring Garden, that's what's expected. That's what's happening. But there's a lot of hard work, dedication, things goes in behind the scenes that gets you to this point.
Right. I think that a lot of this really began 2 years ago when we kind of started hitting our stride a little bit after our county tournament. Carried over to the playoffs. We lost the first game, but I think our guys recognized at that point that that we could play with a lot of teams that we were faced with, and so that following summer they bought in. We had a great year last year. Ran into a tough Skyline team, fell a little bit short there. And I think that for our seniors especially, because our starting five are seniors, that's the bulk of our minutes and everything like that, they realized that, hey, if we want to get to where we want to get to, we got to get to work in the summer. So we had a great summer. I had an addition with JB moving in, and everything just seemed to kind of gel. And as the seasons progressed, I felt like just the pieces have kind of started to fall into place for us.
Coach, I got to watch you guys play here, and what I notice is very, very unselfish basketball. Another thing, and I talked to Rad about this, a lot of times we live in a society of instant gratification. I call it TikTok generation, where you want it quick, fast, and in a hurry. But a lot of times, some of the things that these guys, even sitting beside you, do really good, which is hustle and defense and rebound. That's things that's not in the newspaper, and you don't get a lot of notoriety for it. But talk about that a little bit and how this team is kind of built around that.
Yeah, I think that this just kind of ingrained in who they are. That's just the culture. They've been doing this ever since they were small, doing the Spring Garden League here as little kids, and it's just kind of built into their DNA, if you will. It's not something that we have to do a whole lot in terms of coaching from the three of us coaches. We will talk about our effort, but I think I've really only gotten the guys maybe twice this year on effort. Like, they're going to give us what they got. They're going to run through walls. They're going to do whatever it takes. And it's really not about glory. I think that we really, really want each other to be successful. And I think that carries over to the unselfishness. There'll be nights we had three different times we've had all five guys score in double figures. So it's not really who gets the point. It's a matter of who's got the most at the end of the game in terms of teams, like if we won or not. So
these two gentlemen right here, it seems like every sport, they're always looked at as captains. They're always doing the right things. It's a lot easier to get the guys on board that's underclassmen when you got guys like these two. Can you talk about these two guys individually?
Oh, absolutely. I think that, like you said, the upperclassmen can kind of direct the ship on where it's going. And if you look back to the graduating classes the past 2-3 years, they came in, led by examples. These guys followed. And it's more than just on the basketball court or on the football field. It's in the weight room. It's how you conduct yourself in the summer. It's how you go about your business whenever the fans aren't out there. That's just a production of what you do behind the scenes. And I think that these guys have kind of taken over that. When we're in the weight room, we don't skip reps. We don't cut corners. And like you said, when your underclassmen see your seniors doing that, then they know they better get in line. I think during the summer we had a few people want to cut corners, and these guys got on them. And so that's just kind of, when your seniors kind of police that, good things happen.
That ain't happening right here, brother.
Yes, sir.
Guys, when you guys hear Coach talk about you, but it ain't just Coach Hatch, all your coaches talk about you in those terms. Can y'all speak on that y'all are well looked at, not only amongst your peers, but your coaches as well?
It's just, it's great. It shows like all that work you put in behind the scenes, and all that work when you're in front of the coaches or whatever you do, whatever. It's just great to be, get some credit for it. But not being like saying I want all the credit or anything. Just like, it's good to see that your work is paying off in some sort of way.
Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah, like he said, it's rewarding to see that your hard work pays off when the coaches realize what you do behind the scenes, and when you're in front of them, that nothing changes whenever you're in front of them, and when you're behind them, it all stays the same.
What is it about a Spring Garden athlete that, I don't know if it's entrenched in you guys? You guys do a lot of things that coaches love here as athletes. Because I go to so many different schools, a lot of things that coaches battle every day is not even mentioned or thought about here, which is effort, attitude. I got off the phone with a coach today, talked to him 45 minutes about a kid who's probably his best athlete, but he's got to kick him off the team because of his attitude. But here at Spring Garden, coach just said it. You guys do it. I've seen you do it. There ain't no skipping reps. There ain't no bad attitudes. If you don't want to be here, get out. Y'all police yourselves. What is it about a Spring Garden athlete? Can y'all speak on that?
Well, for me, I grew up watching the older kids work out, and that's where I got not skipping reps and all that. And I'm trying to teach the younger kids not to skip reps, because eventually, if you don't skip reps, that hard work will pay off in the end.
Ain't no doubt about it.
I just said the culture here, just the whole community. That's just what feel like that's what the people around here are known for. There's no need to cheat your way to success. There's no shortcut to it. You got to do the right things. And like you said, the older kids, like, you know, seeing them when I was growing up, seeing the way they handled themselves, and they told me, like, you know, this is going to be you one day, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. You're going to have to man up and be able to play.
And it's not just the recent generations either. Like I said, this is my 4th year being a part of the school, but before I got here, I knew about the culture here because my wife went to school here, and she would talk about the same things, like if you're not going 100% in everything that you do, like, that's unacceptable. And so you can talk to the community members who are 60, 70, 80 years old, like, if they feel like somebody's not giving everything, they're going to let you know about it. So it's like they said, the community holds you accountable as well, which is a great thing, because you don't want just to meet the status quo or the bare minimum. Like, you want to go beyond that. And there's going to be a lot of times we step on the court, we may not be the most gifted athletically, but I feel like hard work, fundamentals, all that stuff, that's kind of like a neutralizer at that point.
The word that comes to me is blue collar. Like, freaking roll your sleeves up, old school, get it done.
That's right.
How would that say? How intense do some of these practices get around here, Coach? Because I know y'all get after each other in practice.
There's been a few times within the past couple of years that there were about some fists that were ready to go. I mean, we had a couple games. Like I said, I've only had to police game effort a couple times, and we came in after one of them in the county tournament 2 years ago. Like I said, that kind of was to me the starting point for where we are right now. I challenged the guys, and they challenged each other, and there were a couple fights ready to start. But that was just kind of and then as soon as practice is over, we're good and back to normal. So I think, you know, at practice we're holding each other accountable. We're going at each other. I don't care if it's seniors going against freshmen, whatever the case is. Like, you're getting everything that these kids have.
That's it. Hey, but sometimes things like that happen when you have such intensity like that. Guys, talk about Coach Hatch and what he's meant to you, because obviously the man can coach basketball, but to me he's a better person than even a coach. Just being around him, he's always been polite, he's always been punctual, he's always treated me real fairly. I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but just talk about Coach Hatch a little bit.
Well, ever since I've known him, I think he was my JV coach my 9th grade year, and he's always been good to me. He's always treated me fairly. I felt like he's always gave me respect. That's a big thing, you know. And he's always treated me right. And like you said, he's smart. He knows. When we go through our game plan, we know what the team's doing. I think that makes a big difference too. So he knows what he's talking about. So we gotta listen to him, be coachable. But yeah, he's always done right by me. I think he's a good man.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I agree with him. He shows all of us as players good respect, and he's a great coach. He knows what he's doing out there. He gets a good game plan whenever we have shoot around, he'll come out with a good game plan, and then when he first got here, I think it was my 9th grade year, and I knew whenever I first talked to him, I knew that he was going to be a great guy, and I think we all accepted him, and he's been good to us ever since.
Coach, if you can get in this tribe, buddy,
Well, I was a little nervous what Noah was going to say, because there's been a couple games recently that we've kind of got into a few exchanges on the bench.
That's awesome.
You know, but like you said, that speaks to the competitive nature from all of us. You know, like I've seen coaches, and I know I can be a lot sometimes. and I'm not going to apologize for that, but that's just like a fire that's built inside of me.
Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think players will play to the style that they're being coached.
Correct.
I've seen a lot of coaches who sit the whole game, or I've seen them who are not very vocal in games, and that's their coaching style. I'm not knocking them for that. But a lot of times the players will match that. And so, in my opinion, if I'm up and I'm trying to coach my hardest, and sometimes maybe a little too hard, but I think the players reflect that. And I think that these guys have. They've responded when they've been challenged, not by just me, but Coach Bowman and Coach Cooper. And, that's the only way I know how to coach, is to be intense. And, I'm going to be their biggest fan. If they do something well, I'm going to let them know about it. If they don't do something well, I'm going to let them know about that as well.
You know about that too?
But in the end, we have the same end goal. And right now it's win basketball, but it's also to build character and a future for these guys too. So,
Guys, you guys are both seniors now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Back half of your senior year, most important half of basketball you'll ever have in your life for numerous reasons. One, the underclassmen are looking at y'all. Two, you can't hit reset and go back and start this thing over. And then three, you guys are legitimately chasing the championship right here. You got a lot of stuff coming up with county tournament, you got area tournament, you got big games at home. Just your thoughts on your back half of your senior year heading down the stretch.
Well, with us being 19-0, there's going to be outside noise and all that. We just got to put the blinders on and focus on our end goal and what we want to get to.
Absolutely.
Just one thing that Coach speaks on is like setting goals throughout the season. And tonight we got an area game. We want to go undefeated in the area. That's one of our goals. So just doing that, winning tonight, and then getting in the county championship and chasing another championship for winning the county. So that's one of my main goals, just trying to set goals throughout the year. It'll kind of makes it go by quick, which sucks, but it makes you focus too.
That's right.
So, yes, sir.
When you're winning, it just kind of
Yeah.
zooms by. When you're losing, you're like, this is...
Yeah.
bro, and we talk about too, we'll 17-0, 18-0, all that sounds good on paper, but in reality, what have we accomplished so far? So
They don't give out the 19-0.
they don't, and we always, and I try to stress to the guys that the most important game is the next game. That's the game that you can control. We can't control the future. We're not promised another game. Our focus now is going to be faith tonight, and once that game is over, we'll shift and go from there. But we have in-game goals or in-season goals, and we want to get to that point, but we can't get to that point if we don't carve out the right path throughout the season.
That's right. Because your number one goal probably right now is you want to host area.
Absolutely.
You want to go host area. I mean, that's got to be a huge
That's
goal.
important. Mhm.
Yeah. Coach, juggling, being ready for tonight's game, then you're on the eve of the county. Talk about your thoughts heading down this same stretch, this path that we just talked about.
Right, yeah, I have my goals for this team and everything, but I don't ever get ahead. I don't get multiple games ahead. I'll prepare for, like with county, we don't know who will play first round. If we make it past that, we don't know who will play second round, so I make sure that I'm prepared for any possibility. Because if I ask the guys to be prepared, then it's only right for me to do the same thing, and they can't be prepared if I'm not. So my focus is our game plan for tonight, and then once tonight ends, I always have a midnight rule. I tell the guys that if you lose a game, you can pout till midnight, but then you got to let it go because it's a new day. If you win, you can celebrate till midnight, then you got to let it go. So it's the same thing. So I don't look too far ahead. I'll start collecting film and things like that, but my biggest goal right now is what's going on to tonight's game, because in our game anything can happen, so we can't overlook anybody.
Guys, just final thoughts. Could be anything you'd like to talk about before we shut the video down. Could be something about this season, something coming up, how it's been going so far, anything you want to talk about.
Well, I'm just going to say I'm grateful that God let us play this good game of basketball every day.
Right.
Yes, sir. I'm just, and I'm glad I get to do it with my brothers. We got one more. Well, we got baseball season too, but I mean, we got one more go around, and football ended a little earlier than we wanted it to. So, it's just one of those things. I want to take advantage of it while I'm here.
Absolutely.
Like he said, I'll give the glory to God for letting us play this great game of basketball, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Yep. Y'all are like brotherhood here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Coach, same thing with you. Just final thoughts before we shut the video down.
Well, we thoroughly enjoy each other, I think. Our guys are constantly going out to lunch together. They're always together, hanging out outside of practice, outside of school. And so, me personally, I want to put them in the best position to be successful. And so, because I want to see them succeed in everything that they do. And I am grateful for them. I'm grateful for the position that we're in, because sometimes these positions don't come around very often. And so our job is to get them prepared so that we can be successful and hopefully take advantage of this position we'll be given.
Guys, off to an unbelievable start. I know the hard work and everything you guys talked about, the weight room and all that, is paying off to this point and continues to pay off. Good luck to you guys moving forward. We'll be out to shoot y'all's games very soon. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
you.